Hey everyone, welcome back to My Summer Car. This is the 8th episode of the series so far. Things have been going interestingly, especially in the last episode when I did manage to get the engine in the car. Okay, apparently I'm going to be having issues, but yeah, I managed to get most of the suspension done, the brakes are in, stuff like that, and the engine itself is also in the car, although there is nothing around it. There's no chance we're going to be able to start it just yet. There's a lot of work left to be done, and so I'm going to continue on with that today. So first thing I'm going to do is I'll put the battery on the charger, if I can figure out how to do that. Okay, there we go. Easy enough. We'll just leave the battery on there. We'll take a look at this and just make sure that things are going okay. Yeah, I think that's right. I have no idea though. We'll just end up leaving that for now, and if the house catches fire, then so be it. So we're going to be starting on putting the body itself together now. There are quite a few little pieces here still left on the shelf, and I figure, well, we may as well just get started on that. So the first thing we're looking for is simply called electrics, and I don't know where that is, so it's going to take me a minute to find it, I think. So I think I'm an idiot because the electrics are literally right here. I've been searching for them for several minutes at this point. I don't exactly know where these go. I'm assuming, okay, there we go. Yeah, well, at least I wasn't too far off. Let's put those in properly. In this case means using an 8mm. Then we gotta get down there. This car is still extremely low thanks to not having any wheels on it. We'll figure that out eventually. My plan is pretty simply to try and get the Rusco back at some point, and we'll be hopefully able to get the wheels using it. If not, then we'll have to use the tractor. But I think we're going to need to get the Rusco back eventually anyways, just because, oh goodness, I'm like right next to the engine here. But just because we need it, because it has the fuel canister in it. So I'd like to be able to get it back no matter what. Okay, next up on the list is the fuel strainer. The phone is ringing, but I'm going to ignore that still. Looks like this is that piece right there. And again, it looks like it's going to be something that just clips onto the engine. The problem with a lot of this stuff is it's a little bit more ambiguous than the the engine components. It just makes it a little bit harder to find the right spot for it. However, I could be completely off, and it's probably quite likely that that's the case. Okay, so it turns out the phone was just the firewood guy, thankfully. But I have put the battery in the car. Again, unsure where this fuel thing goes, and I also don't know... Oh no, there it is. Goodness. I would like to find a home for it, but we probably are going to go ahead and do the radiator first. Oh, never mind. I found the home for the fuel thing. It goes right down here. That was a pretty tricky spot to get to. Thankfully, I did manage to do it, and I think it's also an 8mm. Should just be one. I'm like the most grease monkey ever, because I'm literally in the engine bay, right next to the header. Well, I guess that's the real My Summer Car experience. Okay, next up on the list is the radiator. It is right here. Let's slap that thing in, and then we'll be doing radiator hoses as well. Just dropped it in there. I mean, it's looking the part if we wanted a really low mounted radiator. Let's maybe get rid of this toe strap and try that again. Thankfully, this game is pretty generous. There we go, just like that. Now, as I'm tightening this, I'm remembering that some people have mentioned... Goodness, I can't get in there. Oh well, that works. But some people mentioned that I missed a few bolts on the struts, so I'm going to try to find those. I don't want to miss anything just because I don't want to, I don't know, lose a wheel mid-test drive or something with this car, so I want to make sure that it's right, at least semi-right. And there we go. That's the last radiator bolt, I think. And then we'll just be slapping on some radiator hoses, I guess. And that'll be the cooling system. So my goal for today pretty much is to get more of the bodywork on. I don't want the car to look the same way after this is done. We will eventually have to just undo a lot of the stuff that I'm doing due to inevitable issues that I'm anticipating encountering, because I haven't tuned the engine yet, and I'm kind of afraid to. We'll get there, but for now I'm still a bit afraid of that. Alright, these radiator hoses are a little tricky, but I've got the top one in. Let's try and get the bottom. At least I'm assuming this is the bottom. It's hard to see where they actually go, so I don't know where they line up per se. There we go, that one locks in just like that, and the other one will come off of there, and then boom, just like that. Radiator hoses are in. Okay, next up on the list we need the clutch master cylinder. That should be this one right here. And then this one should be pretty easily placed just up against the wall there. But I'm having trouble with this, so I think I'm going to try to push the car out of the way. This never goes well, so I'm going to give it a shot anyways. Just try to push it a little bit more into the middle. There we go, that's a bit better. So if I try to go in the engine bay, I'm probably going to fall and die. And it looks like the battery just got displaced. There we go, that's pretty much what I wanted, just a little bit on the edge. It just gives me a bit of extra room to maneuver. It just means I don't have to fall in the pit all the time. This pit is almost entirely useless so far in this game. I have not found any good use for it at all. Apparently it's got a 9 and then 2 8s according to the guide that I'm following for this, because I really don't want to mess it up. Where the heck is the 9? I'm guessing on the inside. Oh, the battery got ejected out of it. That's not a good sign. I guess it's a little bit easier to lose the battery than I thought it was. So I'll have to be careful with that. Okay, yeah, there's the 9 right there. That would make a lot of sense. And screw that in. Looks like we have one pedal. Nice. Grab the 8 and try and get the rest of it. I'm definitely having trouble today and having a lot of issues just trying to maneuver. Also, I have no fluids at all, so we can't even attempt to start this car until we go to the store again, which we're kind of running out of money, so we might have to go and get that sorted as well. Oh yeah, I mentioned these struts. You can see this bolt doesn't look like it's on, but me scrolling doesn't actually make it go on anymore. So it is on, believe it or not. Like that's enough. I think it's just that the body's so warped and broken that it's currently messed up that way. Okay, next big one on the list, we need to put a brake master cylinder in. Obviously we need to be able to stop this car. So I think I mentioned it in the last video. Perhaps the one before that even. These sort of playthrough series are blending together. I'm having issues with this game. I think it's pretty clear to see, and it's not an easy game to play. Now, a lot of people tend to give up on it, but my goal still remains the same. I still want to finish the game. However, I'm thinking that we might amend that goal slightly. I might just try and get the car finished, like complete, and then try to start it. And then if I can do that, then I'll consider myself at least marginally successful, and that'll be that. Okay, I'm literally like one with the engine right now, but this is the only way to get these nuts on. Yeah, this is getting a little bit more janky the more parts that we have on here, because it gets harder and harder to see. Like once we have a hood, we might not even put a hood on the car just because I'm gonna need to have it open so often. Okay, we have the clutch lining next, so we need to actually put a wire, or put the lining in for the clutch. I mean that it's literally what it's called. How the heck does it work though? I'm guessing it just hooks up to the transmission. Yep, just like that. And unfortunately it's a 7, so I need to jump back over here, jump back in the engine bay. That battery is causing me many issues. Let's just put it up here for now. That's a really safe way to charge your batteries, by the way. Do not do as I do. We'll screw this part in. Oh, that seems like it probably had a little bit more. I'm glad I can just clip through this engine. It makes it a lot easier for me. Genius. Okay, so we got the clutch lining in. Let's do the brake lining next. Okay, this one looks a little bit more complex. Seems like we need to dive in once again. And I think I've got it the wrong way. It probably goes this way. Or, you know what? That one end converges over here, so... Oh, there we go. Okay, apparently there are 6 of these nuts that I need to do for this one, so have to be very specific here so we're not leaking brake fluid. So that is 1, 2, 3, and that's 4, that's 5. Oh, there it is, that's number 6 inside the engine bay. Oh, I see one right down there. That's a good thing to catch. That'll put that on, and then 1 on each engine, or 1 on each brake itself. So we gotta get down here and actually put this on. There it is, screw that in. Nice and easy, and then 1 more, unfortunately, on the harder to reach side. I can just see it in the distance. We just gotta move over slowly, and apparently that's close enough. Come on, there we go, got it. Alright, that is the entire brake system done, I think. Alright, we're getting to some big stuff here. The steering wheel needs to go on the car. Obviously, I mean, we need to steer. That's kind of important. And then I think we'll be getting into some of the more interesting parts as well. The gas tank, as an example. Next up on the list is the fuel tank. It's got 8 bolts, 7 11s, and 1 12. So this is a pretty big lad going in. I'm guessing it goes under here. That would make the most sense. just like that. Now, how the heck am I going to get these? So I've jacked the car up, which will hopefully help me. Yeah, okay, I can see a few of them at the very least, so we can put those on. And then it looks like there's a thing at the fuel lining as well, it says. Not exactly sure what that means, but again, we'll get there. If the fuel tank falls out, obviously we're going to have issues, so we need to nail this one down before we end up having too many problems. Oh, it is really difficult to get these bolts, but there we go, just gotta line them up. It doesn't want to do it, but I'm forcing it to. Okay, that's 4 on the back. I'm kind of just gliding around here trying to find the rest of them. I'm hoping that it sort of heat seeks me to them, but so far no such luck. Oh, there's one right there. That is number 5. I'm guessing it's 3 on the front side then. We'll just have to figure out how to get to that one in the middle. Oh yeah, there's one right there. Put that on, and then guess we're gonna have to do some creative interior management here, i.e. break through somehow. Oh, this is not gonna work out too well, is it? Alright, well, my creativity kind of ran out and I decided just to push it over top of this. We won't be using that anymore, which means we're gonna get crushed, but hey, at least we get this bolt. And looks like there's a 1 right there as well. I think that might be a 12, so let me jump out and see if I can actually get out of here. As I said before, this pit hasn't been very useful to me, but it looks like I finally found a use for it. The pit is proving to be useful, at least if you're running into these same sort of issues. So the car might have crashed into the bench, but it has been moved once again just to give us a little bit more space here. Next thing on our list is the gear stick, so that would be somewhere over here. I think it's this? That would make sense. Boom, just like that, and looks like we need to button that one up as well. Seems like it's going to be 3 6s. Okay, gear linkage, that sounds kind of important. Probably also going to send us underneath the car. Yeah, that would be this piece right here. This might prove to be a challenge. Got to do that face in dashboard maneuver, and it's in. Apparently it takes the smallest size wrench we have, which is a 5. Let's go ahead, put that away, pull out our hands again, push this over the ravine, because finally it's useful, and then we'll be able to get under this car to be able to work on it here. Yeah, the body is, it is a little worse for wear, especially because it's been flung all over the place. I definitely need those wheels stat, because currently right now I'm struggling to just push the thing around. What we could do, I was just thinking, is just take this body and, I don't know, drag it with the tractor or something like that all the way over to the mansion, and then put the wheels on it at the mansion. I think that'd be pretty funny. But anyway, we'll see how things go. Okay, we're having a minor confliction here with some of the bodywork. Let's just move the bumpers out of the way, don't worry about that. And the jack is in the way as well, so we're going to need to move that too. Okay, that should be enough. I should be able to get to these by, I don't know, just jumping in the pit. Hopefully. Oh, yeah, that'll work. This appears to be the linkage right here, but I'm not seeing where the bolts are. Oh, there's one right there. That seems important. And there's one right here. And another one right here. Perfect. Okay, probably didn't need to push it into this area to do that, but, well, it's too late now. Okay, next thing on our list is actually the dashboard. It's been a long time since I've... Oof, that's not it. This is it. But it's been a long time since I've started this build, and it's good to finally be getting to this point. Dashboard is in. But of course it takes a different wrench size, so let's move on over to that and try to bolt it on. Trying to be tricky, they put a bolt behind the glove box, so let me just put that one on as well. I think we're able to open the glove box, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I guess that's not that big a deal. Okay, so we have to decide if we want to use the RPM or the clock gauge. In this case, I have clock here. I don't think I have an RPM gauge, so I'm just going to throw the clock in. That's good enough for me. And the actual gauges are going in now as well, just like that. Plus, we can probably fit this in there, just like that. Looks really nice, actually. Okay, we need to do up the glove box as well for this one. And apparently that's a 6, so pretty small. I like how the flap is just sticking out the top because it's bent so much. I'm really excited to put body panels on this and see how that ends up looking. It's going to be so bad, but so good at the same time. Oh, there they are right there. I was wondering where these things were. but you just have to screw them right into the dashboard, I guess. Doesn't make a ton of sense, but it works for the context of this game. Boom, just like that, we have a dashboard. And we may as well, because we're here, put the radio in. Looks like this actually doesn't need any bolts or anything, so it could potentially fly out at any moment. I'm actually feeling pretty good though. It's taken a long time to get here, but we're finally going somewhere at the very least. Next thing on the list is actually the headlights. So we'll put those in, although the headlight areas are looking a little worse for wear, especially the one on the right, as you can see. Will it go in? Oh, no problem at all. Finally getting into the bodywork that I've been wanting to do this whole time. Oh goodness, well this is literally screwing into nothing, I think. That's a yes. But it's 2.7 mils on both sides of the lights. And then we'll avoid putting on the hood, of course, because we still need to tune. And we'll avoid doing, well, things that'll get in the way of some of the other enhancements. Okay, that was a bit of a jump there. Alright, next on the list is actually the grille. We'll put that on. Not like we, I mean, we can probably just take it off again if we really needed to. It's not that big a deal, but just to complete the look of the thing, make it look at least somewhat car-like, let's put that on. The Satsuma is actually coming together slowly, at least it says Satsuma on it this time. After that comes the bumpers. Looks like they both have 8 mils, so let's get ready for that. But the bumpers are over here in this corner. We're finally clearing out the garage. Took a while though, goodness. I'm debating whether or not the rear seat is actually going to be needed. We need it to complete the story, I know that, but I don't know if we're going to need it to, Okay, apparently that did not want to go on there. Okay, attempting to put on the bumpers has proven to be challenging. This front one especially does not want to go on. There we go, just like that. And apparently they have 8 mils on there somewhere, so we'll just have to try and find those. Oh, there we go, it goes in the back. Just screw that in. Okay, my goal for this episode now is to at least get the doors on, and perhaps the hatch. We don't have a windshield, so we're probably not going to be able to do anything with that. The windshield that I did have broke, yeah, due to an unfortunate incident in one of the previous videos involving trying to get this thing on a hoist, or in that case the hoist was the tractor. It was unfortunate. And 100% my fault. Okay, rear seat is next on the menu. I guess we can put that in as long as nothing really needs to go in its place. But as I was saying before, we probably need that to finish the story, just because, well, you need to have a rear seat for the conclusion of this game, which I won't spoil just yet. Kind of weird to think about, but if you follow the intro sequence, you were born on this seat, so things are a little bit, little awkward. Oh goodness. And it doesn't want to go back in. Don't worry, I am remembering to do the bolts on these. I'm just cutting ahead to make sure that we can actually get through with this. Turns out I'm starving though, so I'm going to quickly get something to eat. And then hopefully we can get this done before I have to sleep. Okay, front seats are next. I think what I'm going to do is skip doing those for now. And we'll go ahead and... oh geez, there's a whole bunch of stuff in the way of where I'm supposed to go, so I guess I do need to do front seats first. So this is the driver's seat, let's throw that in. And passenger as well, may as well... Oh, okay, apparently that's folding backwards just to let people into... or forwards actually, just to let people into the car. I'm wondering what happens if you just don't put the bolts in the front seats. Like, did the developer of this game think enough about that to... just make you throw, like if you get into an accident or something, you just end up throwing the driver right out the window along with the seat, because that'd be pretty funny. Okay, it's pretty darn hard to see the bolts that are supposed to go on the seat rails here, but there are apparently 4 of them for each. Not sure how many I've done at this point though. Alright, I'm fairly confident that that was the last one. Okay, perfect. That is the last one on the front seats. Sweet. Next thing is handbrake, but I think I'm actually going to skip ahead. I really want to put the doors on, so I'm going to do that right now. Oh, yikes. That gap is horrendous. Okay, let's just put all of these body panels on. I won't bolt them in or anything, we'll just slap them on. Then we'll just, I don't know, finish off for the day. Oh, yikes. You can really see how badly the body is damaged when you're looking at it like that. Here is one of the fenders. Okay, apparently it wants to be in the pit instead. Well, would you look at that? The doors are on. The fenders are on the front, and I actually put the trunk on as well, although everything is not bolted in at all, so as soon as you hit the car, which I will demonstrate now, everything will just fall apart. Alright, so if we push it even just slightly and it runs up against something, at least in my experience so far, one of the doors fell off when I tried to do this last time. Okay. Yeah, so we just lost 2 front fenders and, well, probably a bunch of other stuff as well. Anyways, with that jankiness out of the way, I think it's time that I ended this thing off. Let me know what you think of the build so far. Obviously, I'm just messing around at this point. We've kind of destroyed the car beyond recognition in some cases, and yeah, I've definitely got some more work to do before I can put these body panels on for real. But for now, that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again next week. And as always, before we get too far, I just want to thank those who have chosen to support the channel via the join button. We have Canadian Steel, Overlord, Dr. Ivo, That Riced Out Explorer, QT Bear, James, McLovin Plays, Slow Fried Chicken 69, Terry Williams, Crypt Panzer, The Most Random Person, and Justin. Thank you so much for your support. And again, if you want to join these people, and you want to have your name read out, you've got to hit that join button, and there's the advanced supporter tier for that. Thank you. See you again next week.